Every day, people are finding new and exciting ways to use reality capture and laser scanning. I'm on a journey to find these people and tell their stories. Welcome to Adventures and Interviews. On this episode, I fly my family down to Flagstaff, Arizona, where we meet with a forester named Eli Jensen and discuss what he calls forest architecture. Starting our walk through the forest, Eli shared with us the equipment he uses and the goal for what he's trying to do. What equipment are you using?
Right now we're using the Zeb Horizon.
Okay.
Good old classic, trustworthy Zeb.
Okay, yeah. I saw the backpack,
Yeah.
the Zeb on the backpack. I didn't know.
I built my own backpack setup
Yeah.
with the pole. I don't know if you saw the video with the slide suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help, but it was a fun experiment.
Yeah.
I just did a demo. I ran with the scanner and it comes out the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've had it on the car. We have the car mount for it, and it comes out not the same, but pretty dense still compared to other SLAM scanners.
sure, because for forestry, that visualization is so important. They call it the art and the science. And the art part is just as important.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than just the data. How does it make people feel? I was just talking to a wildlife biologist yesterday who went out with a colleague and was assessing for owl habitat and was claiming what feels owly, nothing quantifiable, right?
Yeah.
So that's really important, especially on public land. Everybody has a stake in this land. It's important that there's that transparency in management.
Yeah. Okay.
To the tech space. So I'm only guessing that specifically in forestry, what everyone's trying to do is just collect more data, more of what we already have, right? The goal for this project is a little bit different. We want more data, but the goal is to get enough data to change the behavior. So if we have enough points on a tree, your segmentation gets close to 99-100%, right? Where now you can start organizing that data on the tree level.
Yeah.
Before with drones,
Yeah.
they do segmentation, but it all goes into a stand average,
Yeah.
right? We want the data on the tree level, and then we can manage on the tree level. Every tree becomes its own record. And when we come out and mark the trees, we can attribute those records and delete the cut trees. And now you can see, what is this going to look like after? And that's going to be really important for engaging with our stakeholders.
Of course, whenever you're trying something new, there's always going to be struggles. Eli talked about some of his.
So maybe not that great. But we also didn't know what the errors looked like. We were still learning that.
Yeah.
The duplicated trees and the drift. And so when we started, oh, that looks good. And then we would come back and notice those things once we had the experience. And then, as you know, Faro acquired GeoSLAM.
Yeah.
They were going through some growing pains.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to go back to the GeoSLAM hub, and that was just not doing anything right. It was like 80% fail rate. But then when we finally got Faro Connect, we're getting, it's pretty good. It's probably 90%. We reprocessed the old scans that failed. They were great.
Nice.
No problem. The other thing we did, though, is we went down from 20 acres to 10 acres.
Okay.
I was doing like 50-minute scans.
Yeah.
And now we try to keep it to 25. And even if the SLAM doesn't break, it's more to
The computer processor?
Well, no, I've got a 4090.
Okay.
I'll process 15 scans at a time, which is great. But no, it's more to manage the distortion in the scans. So
Yeah.
we need all of these tiles to snap together pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I've not seen anybody with ground scanning even attempt to do. So if there's distortion, like 3 feet's really the max of what we want for, you know, the drift.
Yeah. If you're anything like me, at this point, you're wondering what he's using for his control and how he's tying all this together. He has a well thought out plan. Listen in.
So keeping it to 10 acres, we're doing cloud compare for the registration and LiDAR 360 for the rest.
Okay. So when you say registration, when you're registering your different flights together? Okay. And then LP 360 you said for the rest?
LiDAR 360.
Oh, LiDAR 360. Sorry.
So we're looking after this project.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we mix and match? We'll have some ground-based, we'll have some drone-based, maybe some sub-canopy drone flights to get the points on the stems that we need. So it's coming, but we're starting with just what's simple.
Yeah. Are you geo-referencing your scans at all?
Yes.
Okay. So you have targets somewhere?
Yep, if we're lucky, we'll run into one.
All right.
But I make them myself. If we don't find one, I'll show you in the office.
Okay.
It's just 1/4-inch plywood, painted black with reflective tape, just standard checkered.
Okay.
With 2 holes that I drill, and we'll peg them into the ground. One, so they don't blow away.
Yeah.
And the cows don't move them, which has happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
But also we can pull them up, and if we need to come back, those pegs stay, and we have a reference of where that is, so we can throw it back down. We don't have to GPS it again. So we're putting one in each corner of the 10-acre scan, so they all share a corner, and then we're GPSing that with 1 centimeter.
And so your registration is really mostly just bringing it in and letting them sit where they're supposed to, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we use Cloud Compare for, which works pretty well for that. And we just find those, like everybody else, right? We find the targets, click the center, and join that to the GPS point.
Yep.
So it's working really well. Most of them
Plus,
are...
Cloud Compare is free.
And Cloud Compare is free. I love free, and I love, agnostic programs.
Yeah.
So most of them are coming to like snap together within 2 or 3 inches, which I think is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, for GPS out here, that's really incredible, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, mostly it's the distortion that'll throw that off.
Yeah. And are you guys doing all of your analysis on the computer? And then
we're doing some field validation. So,
I mean, obviously, because you're coming out to market, right?
Well, before that even.
Okay.
So we'll come out and do plots. That's the formal validation in the contract.
Field validation.
Yeah, so it's illuminating kind of the paradigm shift of what new things LiDAR can enable, right? Especially on a census level. So the instinct was to validate them the old way, which is with plots. 10th acre, fixed radius, circular plots. So we have 60 plots throughout the 3,000 acres. So out of 300,000 trees, we're gonna validate maybe 400 trees. So really not very many.
Yeah. When you're talking 300,000.
Yeah. So what we're doing outside of the contract, because we're just exploring a better way, is more like a strip cruise. You can have all the data on your device, just do a strip and just find those trees from the scan, and then you can do about probably 100 trees an hour, and you can just go, and it's more data points, it's more representative, and it just feels better.
Yeah.
Like you're not spending all your time building plots, you're spending all your time measuring trees.
Laser scanning for tree surveys isn't new. So what made me fly all the way down to Flagstaff to talk to Eli? Let him tell you.
I'm not the first to do census level inventory in forest. The Swedes and the New Zealanders are doing sub-canopy drone flights.
Yeah.
But it's static.
Yeah.
Right? What I beat them to is it's census level management. So I need to interact with those trees.
Yeah.
I need to turn them on and off, and there needs to be a way to do that. And the only program I found that could do that was LiDAR 360, and they didn't even intend it.
Yeah.
It was, and you can put a VR headset on and walk through this with the cut trees already deleted before it's actually been implemented. I mean, that same thing. That's why the census level management, I'm branding as forest architecture.
There you go.
Because it's the same thing as what you just said. It's the exact same
Yeah.
thing. We're gonna give them like a 30-acre block in the forest for them to architect themselves, like on the computer,
Nice.
and then they can come in and mark it and then present that to the local stakeholder group. You know, this is my forest and why. And I think that'll be a good experience for everyone. And they have to defend it too, right?
Yeah. So we're back in Washington now, although at 90 degrees, it kind of feels like we're still down there. But we've had a little bit of time to be able to reflect on our visit with Eli and Ironwood Forestry. The cool thing about what Eli is doing is while the rest of us are trying to record how things are sitting now or use laser scanning to figure out how things used to sit, Eli is not only looking into the future, he's actually building it. It's a very unique perspective, and I can't wait to see what he does with all the new technologies that are coming out. Definitely keep an eye on him. You can follow him on LinkedIn. His link is in the description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. And also, if you want to get your hands on the Zeb Horizon that he uses, we have a couple of gently used ones that we are trying to sell. So reach out, mac@lightaholics.com. And again, keep your eye on lightaholics.com. It's about to go under construction and come back and be something pretty cool. All right, guys, till the next adventure.